Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Blossoms. And yes, we're going to use the same name. We are starting Harada's route today. Yay! He's one of my top 5. He's number 5 on my top 5 list. Like, obviously, Okita, Sana, and Saito, and Hijikata are like my top 4. Like, they're my favorites. But he's like right there. So like if I 5, yeah, you're up there. I love you. So what I like about this though is I noticed, of course, when I bring up the guide that the person who wrote the guide has like a bunch of text blocked out. So I was like at the top. So I click it obviously because it's not spoilery. Well, it might be a little bit, but it's basically like, and I totally forgot that Harada never became a Fury. So this is actually like a route that you don't have to give him blood. So it's going to be slightly different. So that's actually kind of nice to have kind of in the middle. So he never became a Fury. We don't have to give him blood. So woohoo! Like, so it'll be slightly different than everything else where every other choice is give him blood, you know? So anyway, winter 1864. In order to find my father with whom I'd lost contact, I, Spacey Yukamura, visited Kyoto. In that city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called the Shinsengumi, the Fury, a creature with white hair and crimson eyes. Luckily, I was saved from the vicious clutches of the Furies by the members of the Shinsengumi. Because I had discovered the Shinsengumi's secrets, it was proposed that I live with the Shinsengumi men, since they were also searching for my father. I was given the position as the commander's page, and thus my life with the Shinsengumi began. I'd heard rumors, well, whispers really, that the Shinsengumi were little more than a bunch of crooked ronin, but my life with them proved otherwise. Their commitment to protect the safety of Kyoto made them the last of a dying breed. True samurai. It set them apart from those who only crave power. Among the men was Harada, who, with his trusted spear, led the Shinsengumi's 10th Division as its captain. He was never without his friends Nagakura and Heisuke. Ooh. I slipped back into my old ways there. But I remember him always keen to look out for my well-being in the all-male household. It's because he's such a big sweetheart. Experiencing the Ikeda Inn incident, the Hamagori Rebellion, and the Aburano Koji incident together with Harada strengthened the bond between us. A group of demons named Chikage Kazama, Kyuju Hamagiri, and Kiyo Shiranui continually sought to interfere with Shinsengumi at every opportunity. It was later revealed to me that my ancestry traced back to demon lineage, which made me the target of their ire. Harada, however, kept me safe. At the time, the fate of the shogunate was threatened by the Satsuma Choshu, which later culminated in an inevitable battle for control of the nation. Making things worse, Sanin, the Shinsengumi's colonel, had me constantly cornered in his aim to further his research on the Furies. Okay, so now they're like straight up being like, Sanin's an asshole. You know what? Don't do this, game. That's not nice. Why you gotta do things? Oh, look how precious he is. As my identity came into crisis with the revelation of my demon heritage, Harada kept me safe, giving me the strength to find my feet. Look at how fucking... Okay, even her giant derp eyes are totally acceptable here. Like, she's like, she looks shocked. They're a little bit still awkward, but it works a little bit better for me. I don't mind them as much here, but like, look at his goddamn beautiful face. I can't. Unfortunately, the battle ended in favor of the Satsuma Choshu, and the Shinsengumi were driven from Kyoto. They set sail for Edo in hopes of a new start. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's where the music should happen. There is none. Chapter 1. January 1868. Following their defeat at the Battle of Toba Fushimi, coming in hot. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is hot. Oh, God. Okay. Following their defeat at the Battle of Toba Fushimi, the Shinsengumi set sail for Edo. On January 12th, we reached the port of Shinagawa, later making our residence at the Kama Inn, which had usually been reserved for Hamamoto's. I can't read, apparently, today, because I just fucked up every single thing in that sentence. Jesus. At the time, the Shinsengumi was formidable in size. I can't read today. I'm done. Thus, the inn was filled with hundreds of hungry, depleted warriors, all of whom were still mentally recovering from the events in Toba Fushimi.
Is Soji alright? When I visited him back at Osaka Castle, he looked like a zombie in his bed.
I can't do voices anymore. Like, my voice is broken. I'm gonna need the Christmas break to, like, recover for a couple of weeks of not doing. Because I can't even do Nagakura's voice right anymore. I can't. Like, I'm physically broken. Do you hear this? Like, oh my god. Anyway. Dr. Masumoto's looking after him, isn't he? He'll make sure he pulls through. He's gotta. Right, Spacey? Oh, yes. Will! Harada snuck a glance at me, urging me to agree with him, so I instinctively nodded my head, but judging from Dr. Masumoto's reports, Okita hadn't been improving, which was worrisome to say the least. Why do they constantly... I love this game, but I hate it. I hate it so much because they're like, all your friends are gonna die. Stop reminding me. Stop making it rip my heart out every time. Like, shh. Next, you're gonna fucking bring up Yamazaki and Inoue. Would he really be able to survive this? No.
You know, come to think of it, I heard that before we left Kyoto, the demon bastard Shiranui showed up at the Fushimi Magistrate. Is that true? I also heard Sano tried to give a little taste of his spear, but he might as well have been using a chopstick.
As I was unpacking our belongings, I couldn't help but stop myself as Nagakura recounted some of what had happened back in Kyoto.
Now who's spreading lies around here? Oh, come on. Don't look at me. I'm just messing with you, jeez. Cut yourself some slack. The guy's practically a monster. Humans are no match for guys like that.
I just had an off day. And next time things are going to be different. Harada had normally been in on the joke with Nagakura, eager to exchange banter in good faith, and would have let any other joke slide. Aww. But judging by his reaction, it seemed that the bitter memory of his duel with Shiranui lingered in Harada's mind.
But man, just what are we supposed to do next? Supreme Commander got the hell out of there before anyone else could. Don't tell me that the war's over and we're on the sinking ship.
Yeah, it's not over, but you're on the sinking ship. Welcome to the Titanic! You know, before the Titanic existed. Anyway. Well, that's why Hijikata's busting his ass to speak with every Shogunate leader in town. Hopefully he can convince them to help us push forward. Almost immediately after our ships landed in the port, Hijikata was shuffling to and from Edo Castle whenever the opportunity arose. Instinct told me that he intended to reorganize the Shinsengumi and garner support in favor of retaliating against the Satsuma Choshu in the near future. His tireless effort meant that I rarely caught sight of him since we've returned, and in the meantime, everyone else was attempting to settle in. Therefore, I usually kept company with Harada and Nagakura, who were two of the only leadership figures who regularly stayed within the compounds.
Well, boys, since we're in Edo, there's no use in rotting here, waiting for good news to come to us.
Rotting here, waiting for good news to come. It's just weird with the pause there. Anyway.
Come on, let's grab a drink.
Don't act like being in Edo's some special occasion. It doesn't normally take long for you to wrap your grimy little fingers around a cup of sake. Well, whatever. Sure, I'll go out with you. I might as well show our new recruits a good time while we're at it, hey?
Say, that's an idea.
You're heading into town? Yep, sharp as ever. Yeah, you're as sharp as ever. I mean, you pretty much just said that, so it's just me just being Captain Obvious there. I'll leave the house to you. Don't let the place burn down now. Oh, I'd be like, oh my god, now I'm afraid. Now I'm afraid it's gonna burn down. The fuck? Anyway, something wrong. Well, if you guys wouldn't mind, would it be okay if I joined you? You? I don't know if that's such a good idea. I mean, you know how boys can be. I wouldn't want you to hear anything too unsavory, or see you fucking some girl in the red light district. Really? Seriously? Keep it in your pants, buddy. You're supposed to be doing me. We just don't want to see Nagakura strike it out with all the ladies. Well, you know what it is because he's the ladies' man. Like, Harada had a point. Drinking sessions between men in their position were often rowdy and boisterous, and I'm sure Nagakura had some venting to do. And Harada's gonna flirt with the ladies to get, like, drinks and shit like that, and we're gonna be like, what the fuck? If I did that, you'd be pissed. Flirt with the ladies? He's like, I might be okay with that. No, I meant flirt with all the dudes. You'd be pissed. But I got us free drinks, bitch. Jesus. Perhaps my presence would have only hindered them from truly cutting loose. Okay, well, sorry if it was out of line for me to ask to join you. No, it's me who should apologize. Hey, I know. Now that you're an Edo, I'm gonna take you out soon. It'll be swell, I guarantee it. What do you say? Oh, you're the only one that's taken us out. Or even offered. You are such a big sweetheart. I just want to squeeze you. Okay, I look forward to it. Well, I'll see the two of you later on then. All right, later. Harada winked at me playfully. He's so cute. And together, he and Nagakura rounded up the new soldiers and took them out to experience Ito's nightlife. To occupy myself, I continued unpacking my things and furnishing the room I had been staying in. I lost track of time. Before I knew it, the sun had set. The sky was dark and covered in thin, wispy clouds. How much stuff do you possibly have? Harada and the rest of the men, I thought to myself, should be returning any minute now. No sooner than when the thought entered my head, the sliding door creaked behind me, startling me so badly that I jumped as I flinched. I turned to look over my shoulder nervously to see. It's either Harada or Sanan, because, yeah, okay. I was saying, you keep saying Sanan's being creepy and weird in the beginning, so I was like, it could be him. Sanan, standing behind me in dead silence. You know what? You could try as hard as you want to make him creepy game. I still fucking love him. He's to be like, I need your blood. Okay. Like, all right. I love you. You're one of my favorites. His behavior was strange, but I opted not to make a mention of it. Oh, Sanan, did you need to speak with Harada? He left a few hours ago. I think he went into town with some of the other men. You're in your room unpacking, and Sanan comes in, and you're like, did you want to talk to Harada? Of all people? That doesn't make your relationship obvious. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be, but, like, you know what I mean? Half the time we start this game and it's like, yay, we're in love, and then we have to, like, struggle to get them to admit it 3 chapters in, and you're like, but it's been 4 years! What the hell? I have the patience of a fucking saint! Spacey, me, I do not. She does, though, Jesus. Oh, he steps closer. Quite all right. It's actually you whom I wanted to speak with. Me? It's about my blood, isn't it? Oh, even when you give me that pissed off look, it's sexy. God, I love you. Yes. Do you remember our conversation? I remember a lot of our conversations. Every single word for word, everything you say, I remember. Not a clue. Before, I told you that your blood, demon blood, could be key to solving the mystery of overcoming some of the flaws of the water of life. Yes, of course I remember, but... excellent. That'll speed things up nicely. So, you will cooperate with my research, correct? We were totally willing to do it when we wanted to bone him, but now that we're like, we want to bone Harada, we're not going to help Sanan. You love Sanan. Shut up, Spacey. You love him and you know it. I couldn't bring myself to nod in response to Sanan's question. Instead, turning my gaze toward the floor. This is only... Spacey, just do it. 1, because I love Sanan and I think you should do it. 2, because if you don't, this is already starting to go down the route of Sanan's gonna do some shady shit. Stop him from doing shady shit. Just help him out. Girl, stop. He's gonna either kidnap Sen or try to kidnap us, and he's gonna... I don't know, but we're going to, like... We're gonna see a bad side of Sanan in this one, is all I'm saying. Just right off the fucking bat. If in the fucking, whatever. It's not a prequel. What the fuck was the little thing in the beginning? The little... Just setting it up shit. The prologue. Thank you. That's the word. Someone was screaming it at me. And the little prologue where we're going like, this is what happened in the past, and they were like, Sanan's being creepy. If they're instantly mentioning him being creepy, I'm just saying. And then this, no, it's okay. I'm just gonna pet you. It's okay. I would do anything for you, Sanan. She's just a terrible person who just wants you to be evil. Anyway. Do you really think that my blood will do anything to help your research? For now, it's too early to call. There's no precedent for such an experiment. Then, I can't. The best case scenario is what? We could cure the terrible effects of the water of life, but if the worst case scenario happens, then it could only exacerbate the subject's condition, right? It's unclear whether or not you understand. But without your cooperation, there's no telling if we can wait long enough before succumbing to bloodlust. He's desperate because he's cracking, too. Now we know that, and that makes it even sadder. He's losing his mind, but he's also fucking literally falling apart. And, like, I'm just trying to make excuses for Sana. But I mean, it's a legit excuse. Like, he is falling apart. He's cracking. He's physically like, I'm dying. I need to fucking find a way to fix this. The poor man, Spacey, just help him. Like, help this beautiful thing. Yukamura, it was your father's doing that brought this vile serum to the Shinsengumi. Oh, wow, guilt trip much, huh? So by association, you acknowledge that you're somewhat obligated to comply. You know this, correct? Yes, of course. Of course I feel so guilty about what my father has put you through. But blindly participating in research of this nature with no precedent or basis for what could happen is what created this problem in the first place. It felt as though the experiments conducted upon the members of the Fury Corps were simply toying with their lives. Sana made me nervous, inching closer to me when... Yukamura? That voice. Oh, it was Saito. I figured it was Harada. Okay, anyway. I think how Saito's just... Poosh, I'll save you. Ah! This is Harada's path, but I love it already. Like, we got to see Harada. He's beautiful. And we see two of our other boyfriends. Just stay here. Wait for Harada to come back. And then we'll get Hijikata. And then we'll find Okita. Oh, he's dying. That sucks. That's sad. But we'll have a nice group thing. That's so inappropriate and gross. I would never do that. That's too much to handle. No. I joke about the man harem. That's too much to handle. I can't even handle one of these assholes. Jesus. Anyway. Ears are listening around every corner. Exercise caution. Keep mention of that serum to yourself. Saito! Run and hug him. Please don't leave me. As he entered the room, Saito's eyes wandered to look at Sanan with an inspective glance. How very unlike you to make mention of the serum so openly. I'd only done so under the assumption that there was no one else in the vicinity. Well then, if that's all, I will take my leave from my bedroom shortly. Yukamura, I implore you to think very carefully about our conversation. With that, Sanan bowed his head curtly. Without another word, he spun around and exited the room. I gather that he discussed something about the serum with you, but did he say anything else? Saito shot me an inquisitive look, staring at me sternly, but... You're like, you can't stare at me sternly, I love you. It was nothing. I have some chores to attend to, so I'll be on my way. I skipped away from the hall, hastily getting out of sight to let myself catch my breath. The next morning... God damn it. This headache's a bitch. That's the last time I let you talk me into drinking that much ever again. Oh, good morning, Harada. Do you have a minute? I wanted to talk to you about something. What is it? You see, just as I opened my mouth to recount to him what had happened the night before... Captain Harada, excuse me, a moment of your time. One of the younger warriors skittishly approached Harada with an expression of worry covering his face. Sure, what's up? What's up? Like, I can't talk about it here. Mind if we step outside? Sure, give me a minute. So Spacey, I gotta handle this right now. You aren't in a rush, are you? Is it cool if we talk when I come back? Oh, that's serious, huh? Alright, you come first. No, I'm fine. He looks like he's got something bigger to deal with, so please go make sure he's okay. Positive? Okay, then see you later. Harada flashed a quick grin, then led the young warrior with him outside of the hall. I hoped that we could discuss the unsettling request that Sanan gave me last night, but given how frazzled the warrior looked walking up to Harada, I couldn't blame Harada for leaving. I suppose I could just wait to tell him whenever he's next available. That's gonna be like never. This whole route is gonna be us chasing him around and feeling unloved. Guaranteed. That's how I feel right now. After some time had passed. Oh, Harada, were you able to finish speaking with him? Yeah, I guess he was on the fence over whether or not to leave the Shinsengumi.
What? Without Hijikata around, my hands are kind of tied in this situation. Honestly, if he runs, then he'll have to commit seppuku. So I thought it'd be better if we talked it over a bite to eat, and I got to the bottom of what's bothering him. I see. Well, considering how quickly things went south in Toba Fushimi, I can kind of see where his head's at. Hey, I hate to say this, but the thing you wanted to chat about isn't too pressing, is it? Can it wait till I get back? I grew suddenly anxious, thinking about the possibility of Sanan approaching me while Harada is out. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about it. Yes, it can wait. Gotcha. Well, write me down for a rain check when I'm back. That's all we're gonna get from you is rain checks and heartbreak. With that said, Harada left the hall. Rain checks and heartbreak should have been what we started with this. That should have been our fucking achievement. It would have been like, what? It really shouldn't have surprised me. Harada was undergoing a lot of stress on his own since neither Kondo nor Hijikata were around to advise him. Perhaps it was better for me to give him some space while he tended to the administrative business for the Shinzengumi. But still, I was at a loss for what to do. Remaining here left me vulnerable to Sanen's sneaky advance, but you know what the funny thing is? He's sneaking trying to get my blood. It really just sounds like he's sneaking trying to be like a perv. Like, I mean, it could be worse, right? If I were to leave the compounds without any prior approval, then it could land me in deeper trouble than I would have wanted. As the sun went down, I heard the hushed squeak of the sliding door. And lo and behold, standing there was Sanen. I love this. I love this route. We get a lot of Sanen time. Evening. Have you given any more thought to what we've discussed? Literally, you asked me yesterday. Chill out. Learn patience. Sanen slowly slinked in, closing the distance between us at an uncomfortable speed. Like he slowly slinks in, but he's there like a vampire, because he is one. With no way for me to call for help, I instinctively stepped back in kind. Like I said last night, I don't think... Sanen's response, however, was completely different to what I was expecting. It's Toto, you see. His behavior has been a cause of great concern, liar. Heisuke... The very same. His bloodlust has finally begun to emerge. Like each fury before him, it won't be long until his sanity disintegrates to nothing. You, of course, like, I love the fact that how we ever fell in love with Sanen, I mean, I fell in love with him, like, instantly. Like, just, you're the one with the glasses, you're kind of going to be an asshole, and I love you, and that's just instantly for me, but he is one of the best. And his route was beautiful. But it's funny, because in every other one, we're like, we don't trust him at all. We're like, no, Sanen, you're creepy, and you're being weird. And, like, me, I'm like, stop, be nice to Sanen, we love him. He's misunderstood, the poor thing. Like, the poor man is broken on the inside and literally breaking on the outside. But I do think it's funny that he's totally being a shady motherfucker right now and being like, you see, it's Heisuke. And you're like, oh, no! If he was like, look, it's me, I'm falling apart, I need your blood, I need to fix this, I'll use it on me, goddammit, help me. We'd be like, yeah, no. But the second he's like, it's Toto. I'll do whatever you need. So shady is he? Because you know Heisuke's not cracking. Heisuke's been fine. Sanen's the one that's losing his shit. But like, so shady. Anyway. No! Is there really nothing we can do to save Heisuke? If Sanen was like, I'm losing my sanity and I'm starting to crack and I need your blood so I can save myself, I'll be using the experiments on myself. Like, we wouldn't help him. We'd be like, yeah, I think you're just going to have to deal with that, buddy. But the second he mentions Heisuke, it's like, oh, we must do whatever we can. We're kind of a bitch, if you think about it. My question, it seemed, was the window Sanen had been looking for, and I saw his eyes flash gleefully. Only with your cooperation in my research, and can we hope to find any method of helping poor Toto keep his mind? Me? Somehow, as soon as I'd asked, I knew that Sanen would find a way to bring it up again, but would his research really do anything to help save Heisuke? But it's not for sure, right? You don't know yet if any good will come from it. Right. However, trying is better than doing nothing at all, which will surely lead to his insanity, if not worse, his death. Sanen's words gripped my heart with terror, and suddenly my stomach sank. Or do you mean to suggest that Toto's fate is of little to no concern for you? Wow. Harsh. Really? Is his life not worth even just a sample of your blood?
What? No, that's not what I said at all. As soon as I said that, Sonen's eyes thinned eerily. So, I can count on your cooperation, yes? The thing is like, if he came like, look, here's the thing, and was straight up with and like, even if he was lying about Hayescape, but he's so shady about it. Although I struggled to give in to the idea of helping Sonnen perform experiments with outcomes that could potentially put myself or others at risk, I had been completely taken by the fear of letting Hayescape die, simply because I was unwilling to put my well-being aside. What say you, Yukimura? I was left with no choice but to say, yes. All I could muster was a timid nod in response. Thank you. I had a feeling you would come around eventually. It's just a little bit of blood and he can do experiments. And if somebody, here's the thing, I understand her like stance, like, what if you give it to someone and it makes them worse? Then I'm responsible for that. But if they're already losing their mind and they're kind of already in the being taken by bloodlust, yes, your blood could make it worse. But if they're already so far gone, then it's just, by not doing it, you're just delaying the inevitable, right? Like, they're at point B, and point C is when they die. So we rushed to point C faster. Well, that sucks, but they would have gotten there eventually. They would have fallen apart eventually, it just would have taken them longer. So in a way, it's like, well, their suffering is over faster. There's a guilt behind it, like, I drove that person even more crazy, and now they're dead. But they're gonna die anyway. It's not like he's like, this person's perfectly healthy, let's try it on them. No, you gotta try it on the people that are already, like, have lost their minds, where, unfortunately, I mean, that's still horrible as human experimentation, but they're going to die from this bloodlust and, like, turn to ash. You're just helping it happen 3 days sooner, which does suck, I'm not lying, but if your blood could help them, then, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Just try to see it rationally, even though it's still awful. And I still think the guilt would weigh on you, but you just gotta trust Sonnen that he knows what he's doing. Which, I guess, the way he's been acting is a little hard to do. I trust Sonnen. Keep calm and trust Sonnen. Just, okay? Just trust Sonnen. But I understand your hesitation. Like, the way he acts in every other route. Ah, yes. Before I forget, please be sure to keep Toto's condition secret from Harada. What? Why? Harada regards Toto with the love befitting a younger brother. Were he to discover the truth, well, let's just say Harada can be overprotective at times. My fear is that he would threaten to leave the Shinsengumi over something like that. I tried so hard to wrap my head around Sonen's reasoning, but, because, don't tell Harada, because then he'll figure out it's a lie and then you won't help me, basically. Was hiding it from Harada such a good idea? I felt nauseous thinking over everything Sonnen said. Well, shall we? Right this way, Yukimura. Sonnen stuck his arm out, pointing to lead me to the direction of the room where he and the other Furies resided. Hey, Sonnen, you in there? Oh, Harada. Harada barged in and his eyebrows perked in surprise seeing Sonnen and I alone together. That's what you get for leaving me alone. Just saying. Maybe you should spend more time with me. Spacey's being a total douche right now. Me, Spacey. Spacey, what's going on? What are you and Sonnen talking about? Oh, oh, behave. She and I were merely discussing the water of life. She is Koto's daughter, after all. What are you on about? You, of all people, should know way more about the water of life than she does. Enough about this. Sonnen! Oh, why didn't you tell anyone about the murdering spree that your Fury Corps been going on? What? My jaw dropped and I glanced over at Sonnen standing right beside me. He's like, damn it, Harada! I almost had her blood. Sonnen, however, seemed unfazed by Harada's sudden accusation. Because it's not, if we know from his path, it's not our Fury Corps that's doing it, so. What? This is the first I've heard of it. Stop playing dumb. Oh, when I was making my way back, I spotted a couple attacking innocent people out in the street. I had to make sure neither were of sound mind, and I killed them. I see. They were... My apologies. I hadn't realized. I should have kept a closer eye on them. Is that all you have to say? Kind of hard to believe that someone as sly as you would let something like that slip from under your nose. You overestimate me. If there's nothing else, allow me to be on my way. Sonnen shot Harada a harsh glare and promptly exited the room. This poor guy, I feel bad for him. I really do. Because like everyone's like all mad and pissed. Like, you should be better at this. And it's like, he's literally cracking and falling apart. He's trying to keep his mind sane. He's responsible for all of this shit. And like everyone's so fucking mean to him. Like, even in any other route we go down, I'm always going to side with Sonnen and be like, would you stop being mean to him? He just needs hugs, guys. Just fucking stop. Stop. Like, poor fucking thing. Like, I have a problem. Like, I love you, Harada, but be nice to Sonnen. Okay? Harada let out a little sigh and then turned to face me. Spacey, what were you talking with Sonnen about? As I opened my mouth to report all of the things Sonnen had said to me, I suddenly recalled Sonnen's warning. Harada regards Toto with the love befitting a younger brother. Were he to discover the truth, well, let's just say Harada can be overprotective at times. My fear is that he would threaten to leave the Shinsengumi over something like that, which I don't think is true. There is a possibility that Harada could become frustrated enough to leave the Shinsengumi, which he's going to anyway. If that were to happen, I may never see him again. Besides, would telling him be worth it if Harada could potentially take the news of Heisuke's condition poorly? Hey, you okay? Did he say something to you? No, nothing. Spacey, look at me. Doesn't look like nothing. You've been trying to get my attention all afternoon, haven't you? Does it have anything to do with what he came in here to tell you about just now? Hey, don't close up. Talk to me. Or can you not trust me anymore? Oh, ouch. Dude. Oh, you're going for the jugular with that one. No, it's not that. I wanted nothing more than to spill everything that happened in front of Harada, but I was afraid. Afraid of what Sonnen had said, and afraid of what would happen if Harada were to ever leave me. Perhaps I was afraid of misspeaking, thereby needlessly causing friction between two men who ought to have been working as a unit. I'm going to leave now. Hey, wait! I sprinted out of the hall, fleeing from Harada out of embarrassment. Oh. Ever since that day, Harada stopped speaking with me altogether. Damn! Whenever our eyes happened to meet while we were in the company of others, he would quickly avert his gaze. This hurts so bad! He also made no attempt to approach me whenever I found myself alone. I suppose I couldn't blame him, but amongst the captains, Harada was one of the only men who had shown me kindness, always showing some kind of interest in how I'd been doing. That's not true. They all have shown you kindness. Stop. Even in every other path. He's just the nicest because it's his path. Being unable to speak with him for such a long time crushed me inside. Hello, Yukimura? Oh, sorry, Soma. I didn't notice you there. I was just spacing out, as is my name. Is everything okay? Are you feeling ill? No, it's fine. Don't worry about me. Are you sure? Oh, well, if you say so, then. Like, are you sure if you say so? Wow, don't even... Soma handed me a stack of enclosed parchments addressed to Hijikata. And thanks for getting this to me safely. I'll be sure to hand them over to Hijikata. Thank you. See you later, then. Oh, Soma? Yes? Well, if you're going to accompany Kondo, do you need me to join you? No, thank you. I believe Nomura and I should be enough to handle it. Got it. I thought that maybe, by leaving here, it would give me a chance to get away from Sonnen, but no such opportunity ever seemed to come within grasp. I'll be going now. Please be sure to greet everyone for me. Soma bowed, showing me a wide grin as he sped off from the Kama Inn. Later that evening, Sonnen came looking for me once more. It's been a while, apparently, though. Good evening, Yukimura. Hopefully you haven't forgotten our arrangement, have you? I've been turning it over repeatedly in my head, even rehearsing what I would say when the time came. I can't bring myself to go through with it. Your research, I mean. What do you mean by that? I mean, we don't even know if it's a sure thing that'll work. Besides, if this doesn't work, then he might even go mad enough to start killing people. Just like those two furies that Harada witnessed, right? With all of this in consideration, I respectfully must decline your request. Interesting. So you'd rather doom us to our deaths, yes? Watch our minds sputter into madness. You're kind of already going there, Bunny, but Sonnen barked at me, causing me to tremble in the spot where I stood. What? I never said that! But you're implying it, aren't you? After all, you are Koto's daughter, the man who cursed us with this condition, and then disappeared in the middle of his research. Our sanity, our lives, mean nothing to you. All you care about is washing your hands of our blood. Is that what you mean to say? Wow, Sonnen. Ouch. That hurts. I've been siding with you. Don't be mean to me. No, I didn't say any of that, but for, for 4 long years we housed you, gave you a place of refuge, fed your mouth, and now you spit on our hospitality. Tell us we mean nothing to you? What Sana was arguing had merit, and I reflected upon the numerous times that the Shinsengumi had looked out for me. Wow, guilt trip much? Jesus! So this is a guilt trip path. Like, we're on the guilt trip train. Did you know that you guys hopped on board the guilt trip? Because that's what this path is right now. Well, if we're worthless in your eyes, then so be it. If you think you can continue benefiting from our good graces, a rude awakening awaits you. The Shinsengumi has no need for someone that can barely lift a sword. Ow, truth hurts. Even worse than your paltry skill with a weapon is the fact that your mere presence attracts the attention of demons, who we are scarcely able to handle. Sonnen growled at me through gnashed teeth and stormed out of the room. I mean, he has a point. But I. It was true. I was a monster too. Unlike that of a normal person, my body possessed amazing restorative and regenerative powers. I can read. No, I can't. This often led to the attempts of Kazama and Shiranui to abduct me from the Shinsengumi's possession. However, in my state of vulnerability, I recalled something that Harada said to me. Notice she didn't say Amagiri because he never tries. He's always like, whoa, whoa, okay. Stop the fighting now. Let's go. Like, he's the voice of reason. He's not actually trying to abduct us. He's just there to, like, move the plot along sometimes. He's great. Oh, look at his beautiful face. And no matter what people say, it doesn't change a thing. You could be a demon, a human, or whatever. When you feel it, your heart beats like this. When you're having fun or the world's got you down, if you've fallen for someone, you want to protect them. Oh. I mouthed the words Harada had said to me, playing them back and thinking about what they'd meant when you've fallen for someone. Maybe I was starting to think that I could trust him and hopefully keep him close to me for just a little bit longer. But, Harada, what should I do? The time I had to decide was dwindling. Jesus, I can read. This chapter is going to be really fucking long. I'm surprised because we haven't even gotten to any of the choices yet. Like usually, like the chapters, like they fast, but I guess, well, Harada is one of the ones in the very beginning scene. Like, there's a few of them that get like the two little segment, like they show them and then they get their nice little thing, and then like other ones have to share they get like two little. I don't want to say like they're not like CGs, but two little like sprite appearances. Like they have like two little different backgrounds with them, as opposed to like here's one, here's Hijikata, like whatever. They show him and then they do another one with him, but they do that for some of them and not for others. And like Harada is one that they actually do that for. Like, so it's almost like they're the ones that are like these are like the favorite, and then the other ones are kind of like side pieces. You know what I mean? So his path might be longer than others, or like in the 6 to 7 as opposed to like the 4 parts for the chapters and then 1 part for bad endings. So anyway, Kama Inn seemed particularly vacant, which I'd assumed to be Nagakura's doing. It wouldn't have surprised me to hear that he took the recruits out for bottles of sake to blow off steam. Battles of sake, and I'm like, sake battles. That sounds kind of fun. That sounds awesome. What is that? I need to know. We need to invent that. It'll be awesome. Anyway, I had the chance right in the palm of my hands, and no one would ever find out. I need to leave this place while I still can. That's what I was really wondering when Sana was like saying all the things. I'm like, is she gonna run away? Is she gonna fucking run away? And she like that's what I would like. My instant reaction was like, we should just run away. She gonna run away. Just as I turned to speed towards the front door. Hey, what are you up to at this hour? The moment my head spun, I was greeted by the face of a familiar friend who'd stood in front of me as if to block me from leaving. Why, of all people, did I have to bump into him? Harada. For some reason, his name escaped my mouth languidly. This is no time for a woman to be up by herself. Where were you thinking of going? Um, I searched for excuses, but none readily came to mind. Meanwhile, we've got like our little hobo sack, our stick with our belongings in a little sack, and we're like, just strolling around. He's like, why do you have your fucking shit with you? No reason. Looking into Harada's eyes frightened me, as if he had the ability to read my every thought and whim simply by staring into my soul. I'm sorry. I tried sidestepping, hoping to fly past Harada before he could stop me, but he's faster than you. He's so gonna grab you. Oh, wait, don't run away. By the time his stern voice reached my ears, his hand had already grabbed a hold of my shoulder. Not so fast. What do you take me for? His forceful grip tugged me around, compelling me to spin and face him. He's like, dude, I fucking love you and you're running away from me. This is not cool, Spacey. I love it. Oh. Aw. We're hurting him so much. He hasn't been talking to us, but it hurts him just as much as it hurts us. But we think it doesn't hurt him, but it does. That's adorable. Having Harada's immense frame so close to my body intimidated me, and I couldn't help but look away. Somehow, I knew that so much as looking into his eyes would cause me to sob uncontrollably. So what's going on? By the looks of things, it doesn't seem like you were on your way to take care of errands, which must mean... I winced, biting into my lip in anticipation. You were planning on escaping, weren't you? Go figure. Please, let me go. It's for the best. I've put a lot of thought into it. Hey, let's just slow things down a minute. Why don't you take a deep breath first? Harada released his grip on my shoulder before letting out a long sigh. You remember what we talked about before? I told you, if you're ever thinking about leaving the Shinsengumi, you talk to me first, right? Look, if leaving this place is what you really want, I'll help you make it happen. We'll plan it all to the very last detail, and I'll get things moving. But believe me, doing it like this, nuh-uh, not a chance. At least tell me what's bothering you. We've spent 4 years together. If I came home one day and suddenly you were gone, I'd be devastated. Oh! Wouldn't you? Harada had a way of pulling at my heartstrings. How easily he could sway me into questioning what I thought I knew. Was he really that worried about me? Would it actually devastate him to return home and discover that I had fled without telling him? But I wondered, how should I respond? Stop being so nice to me. I'm sorry is really what you'd think you to go for, but stop being nice to me. Please, stop always trying to be so nice to me. My voice shook, fighting to sound coherent. I've had enough. I've been fortunate enough that everyone has been so kind and welcoming to me. But I can't shake the feeling that, in doing so, I'm just being a burden to everyone else. Sorry, but I literally don't see what the issue is. Did something happen to upset you? I shook my head silently. Yes, it did. Tell him. Fucking tell him. I was hesitant to answer, but there wasn't. Being under the care of the Shinsengumi was special. That hadn't stopped Harada from questioning me. I begun to wonder if anything could. Did someone argue with you or something? Are you fed up with us? No. Or... I'm the one that doesn't belong here, right? Before I knew it, I had lashed into a screaming furor. All of the strife festering inside of me had reached its limit, and once I started, I found it impossible to stop. He's so gonna hug us. There's gonna be a CG. There fucking better be. My eyes swelled up, tears streaking underneath my hot, puffy eyelids. It was my father who brought the water of life into the Shinsengumi. I knew that in some way I had to take responsibility for that, but... Harada said nothing. He kept me fixed in his stare. My vision was so blurry from tears that it was difficult to make out what kind of expression he had. I'm so happy, but because of how kind and generous everyone's been to me. You have no idea how appreciative I am. Really, I am. I felt my lips quivering with each word, making it tough to string together a proper sentence. but I couldn't hold back much longer. Even with Heisuke, I don't want to leave him hanging or to hurt him. I want to repay all of you. I truly do. For all that you've done for me, but... Wait. Oh, what's that about Heisuke? Don't tell me someone's been feeding you some bullshit. Well, wait. I'd be like, huh? Wait. Sonnen urged me coldly that I couldn't ever tell Harada what he'd said about Heisuke. I can't say anything. I'm not allowed to, but... I know that there's little I can do to repay all of your kindness, because I'm worthless as a warrior. Well, yeah. But I still don't know if cooperating with the Fury Corps is something I can do. I just don't know. I think that's supposed to be him saying, wait a minute, not us, because his mouth just moved and, oh, wait a minute. If all I'll ever amount to is becoming some sort of beacon for Kazama and the rest of the demons to come here and start some trouble, then maybe I'm just being selfish. Maybe I'm taking advantage of your hospitality, and by refusing, it's just a poor reflection on me to do nothing in return. Spacey, calm down. I'm a waste, just a selfish waste. I can't blame anyone for resenting me because of it, so stop being so nice to me. If I don't leave now, then I'll have to live with the weight of my guilt, and I'll only crumble from within. If you aren't going to let me leave, then please, just kill me now. Suddenly, I'd found myself screaming at the top of my lungs, and he reactively wrapped his hands around my arms to subdue me. CG. Did he just fucking kiss her? Oh my god. You can't see it, but that's what it looks like. I see. Oh my god. His grasp was so rough that I jolted still. Underneath my chin, I felt his fingertips gently tilt my head upwards, and then... Oh my god. I was not expecting that so soon. It takes 4 chapters, usually in the 3rd or 4th chapter, for them to kiss us. Oh my god. The sensation of his lips pressed against mine. Jesus. That is fucking amazing. It all happened so quickly. I barely had any time to realize what was happening. You and all of us. The distance between us was now non-existent. I saw the sparkle of his amber eyes between his full, luscious eyelashes. It's always luscious lips or sensuous mouth. Now it's his luscious eyelashes. Yeah, because men always have gorgeous eyelashes. It's unfortunate. Harada then began to nibble playfully on my lower lip. Oh, dear God. Spacey's about to fall off her bouncy ball. We love that. The warm tickle of his breath made my knees shake as he stroked underneath my chin gently. I was so enraptured by Harada's suddenness that it took me a second to realize we were kissing. At first, I tried to draw back, but Harada insisted, pulling me closer as our kiss intensified. Why? Soon it became almost painful to breathe, and I found myself of having any space to think. Not having any space to think, maybe? Oh, as our lips parted, I felt a shiver crawl from the back of my neck to the tips of my toes. It took everything inside of me not to collapse to the ground. That was fucking amazing. Yeah, we got love points with him. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's already set. Jesus, when's the wedding? Sorry for springing that on you all of a sudden. This is the only way I knew how to silence a crying woman. Wow. Wow. This is the only way that I know how to silence a crying woman. You do that often? Wow. I'm gonna cry. Are you gonna come and silence me now? Jesus. She's like, that just makes me wonder how many women you've made cry and then kissed. Whatever. The feeling had left my body entirely. I went numb, powerless as my mind attempted to gather its focus. And she's like, wait, were you just kissing me to stop me from crying or because you actually wanted to kiss me? Because that's like 2 totally different things. All I could do was shake my head, dumbfounded. Yeah, I know, right? I'll get this will probably sound like I'm making excuses, but bear with me for a second. I've noticed for a while now that there's been something strange going on with you. You never bothered to tell me the truth about what was bothering you, and I don't know, it bothered the hell out of me. Suddenly I thought that everything we'd been through together never meant shit to you, and you always kept your guard up around me. I know I should have known better because I'm older, and you're still figuring things out for yourself. No, it's my fault. I almost would have rather he scolded me, letting me feel the brunt of his frustrations without giving me any opportunity to argue back, but seeing him confess so sincerely to me that he too was so conflicted warmed my heart. I know, right? It's adorable. He's so sweet. He's just like the sweetest. He's like, oh my god, I got diabetes. He's like just a big ball of sugar. Like, and, you know, I used to brag like some hotshot, saying that women needed men to protect them. But look at me. I got my ass handed to me by Shiranui. So I don't know. I started to worry that maybe you were growing sick of me or something. Oh, you poor thing. How stupid had I been this entire time? Pretty fucking stupid. Here was Harada, pouring his heart out and trying to convey the misunderstanding from his perspective with respect to my feelings. And my first inclination was to run away from him. My cheeks were hot with embarrassment. Never had I ever felt so ashamed in my life. If you can't stand the thought of being here a second longer, just because I'm a huge jackass, then hey, I honestly can't blame you. Oh, you're so adorable. But if it's because of something else, then don't. Harada, no matter what anyone said to you, or if they tried guilt tripping you, you shouldn't feel bad. Just quit blubbering and chill out. Got it? Harada's words of encouragement were still sitting warmly in my heart. Yeah, okay. Hey, stop blubbering about it and suck it up. I mean, sometimes we need to hear it the hard way, but like, it's just funny. His words of encouragement, he basically just told you to shut up and man up. Like, in a nicer way than that, but not the nicest way you could have done it. Still funny. I love him. Okay, I get it. I couldn't imagine ever tiring of being with him. And if I were to have it my way, then I could be here forever. All right, then. So why don't we let bygones be bygones and call it even? Okay. Harada towered in front of me, and I gazed into his eyes with the realization. I replayed what had just occurred in my head. I suddenly realized that it was the first time a man had ever done something like that with me. I used to think I knew what it meant if someone were to kiss you, but... what's the matter? Oh, nothing. Harada's demeanor was as cool-headed as it ever was, seemingly unfazed at all by what happened, because he loves you. But it's funny, because he basically just admitted it. And then she's like, oh, he just kissed me to stop me from crying. It doesn't mean anything. He basically just admitted he likes you, because he's like, yeah, I just thought, you didn't want to be around me because I couldn't fight Shiranui and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And it's like, he's not just like, I just thought, you didn't want to be my friend anymore. He loves you. And oh my God, that was pretty much him basically saying that. Like, in a roundabout, non-obvious way, but obvious to us. So, was our kiss just a means for him to calm me down like he suggested? Was there really nothing behind how tender and passionate it felt? From what some of the other men had mentioned, Harada was quite popular amongst the women of the red light district as well. And that would make me be like, and I'm sorry, as much as I love you, Lord knows what kind of diseases you have. Like, perhaps to him, a kiss was inconsequential, just a friendly token of affection, or maybe less. I mean, I'm not saying I expect you to be a virgin, but like when you come back, like every night, new lady at the red light district. Yo, dude, wow. I don't think I really needed to know that much. I don't need to know that much detail. Yeah, I don't know, a couple hundred. Ah, gross. Too much. There's a too much line. Like, oh. I'm gonna tell you though, Harada could probably just bat his eyelashes at them and then be like, he's popular, but it doesn't mean he's like doing all of them. You never know. I'm sure he had his favorite. That's the story I want to see. I needed a Shinsegae thing where you just see all the dirty secrets that you're like, wait, what? You just see like fucking Hijikata writing all this poetry and you're like, wait, what? Harada's out there womanizing. Now, of course, trying really hard to get ladies and can't. I mean, you just hear these underlying stories. I just want that. I just want all of that. I just want to see all the the worst. You just be like, wow. All the little secrets you didn't know about your boys. Just to destroy it for me. You know what? Let's not do that. Anyway, it would do me no good to raise my hopes. No, raise your hopes. I'm sure that to him, it meant nothing at all. So, are you going to tell me what happened or what? I weighed my doubts, pondering whether or not Harada would react well to what he wanted to hear. Asanan said something to you, didn't he? I think I have a hunch of what it could be. He urged me to open up so persuasively. All he has to do is kiss you again and you're going to tell him anything he wants. You see... Wow, that rat bastard did all that, huh? I never took him for such a snake. And to top it off,
He went out of his way to tell you not to tell me? So essentially, he's admitting that he knows what he's doing is wrong. I found it rather strange as well. But when he mentioned that Heisuke was suffering, I didn't have too many other options. Well, you wouldn't even have any idea whether or not Heisuke was going mad with bloodlust. Kondo isn't here right now, and neither is Hijikata, so I think Sanan is starting to test his boundaries a little bit. Once Hijikata returns, I'm sure that little rat will be crawling back into the hole he came from. I hate how they're so... I mean, I know Sanan is being a rat bastard right now, but, like, don't be mean to him. He's falling apart. Still, he's being such a dick, and they have such a right to be like, what an asshole. But I'm like, stop being mean to him, guys. I can't. I can't ever, like... Look, I will be like, Sanan, you're being an asshole. But I'll hug you anyway because you need hugs. Like, something wrong with me. I sure hope so. Well, as far as where to go from here, don't let it bother you anymore. I'll take care of it. So just relax, all right? Come on, let's head back inside. Okay. It was impossible for me not to feel a little bit bashful still, but regardless, being able to confide in Harada so comfortably felt like a heavy burden was lifted from my shoulders. I smiled to myself as I watched his broad shoulders lead me back inside the compounds. I knew even if she ran away, he was going to find her, or like in this case, he stopped her right there. But the next day, I was restless in my futon all night, unable to shake what happened that night from my mind as I tossed and turned, searching for something to hold. It utterly exhausted me, and I welcomed the morning with droopy eyelids and in a stupor. Ah, you really outdid it today. And breakfast looks delicious as always. I can't wait to dig in. As the rest of the warriors scarfed down their breakfast, I sat beside them, too distracted to eat. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? I didn't expect that in the fucking first chapter. I would stare into space for seconds at a time, catching myself daydreaming about the previous night. Yukamura, can you hear me? Huh? Oh, Shimano is calling me, snapping me out of my daze. Sorry, I was just thinking about something. Is there anything I may do to help you? Well, it appears as though everyone is finished with their breakfast, so I wanted to put the dishes away. If you're feeling unwell, then I would not mind carrying all of the dishes myself. No, I'm fine. I'm not sick or anything. You sure, kid? You look like you're in a trance. Are you stressed about something? If you need someone to talk to, I'm all ears. Hey, leave her alone. It's a tense time. I wouldn't blame her for feeling anxious about it. Kondo's still bedridden, and Hijikata's off doing who knows what away from the compounds. I'm not surprised most of us don't look like she does. I'm surprised most of us don't look like she does. Okay. Harada had a knack for chiming into conversations and easing the tension nonchalantly. You make a compelling point. I suppose it's inevitable not to feel somewhat downtrodden about how things have been going for us as of late. However, the commander is working tirelessly day and night to meet with Shogunate leaders to help us regain momentum. We would never suggest for us to enter a conflict that cannot hope to win. Oh, he would never suggest. So rest assured that our victory will come soon. Please keep your head up. You're right. Thank you. I stood up, glancing at the scattered array of empty plates, and began stacking them to carry away. Before I went to the kitchen, I stole one last glance toward Harada. Harada was looking at me too, and as our eyes locked together, I felt trapped in a momentary pause. So she's like gathering plates, and she like glances over at him, and he's staring at you, and you're like, God, I hope I didn't look stupid. I hope I didn't look like a potato gathering plates. I look like a potato! Fuck! Oh, what's the matter? Do I have something on my face? Aside from beautiful? No. Huh? Oh! Or do you expect me to come help you put the plates away? Oh, well, I'm gonna wash them first. I can handle this myself. Yes, please. Yes, please. Would you mind helping me? He's like, yeah, she wants me. Yeah, I do. Alrighty then. Then go ahead and hand these to me. I'll take care of it for you. Harada stood up from the table and grabbed a tall stack of plates from my hand. As he reached over, our fingers brushed one another. Out of reflex, I nervously withdrew my hand, causing the plates to spill to the floor. Hey, watch out! You can't just drop them all. You're gonna take out a toe or something. I'm sorry. What's going on over there? Sano, You trying to pull something sneaky on her?
Oh, Nagakora's taunt made me blush, and my heart skipped a beat in surprise. What was Harada going to say in response? Pressure rumbled uncomfortably in my stomach as I waited for Harada to answer.
Don't be a dumbass. What the hell do you take me for, huh?
Harada coolly deflected Nagakora's question like nothing happened. Nothing did happen, but...
Spacey, any broken plates down there? No? Then let's hurry up and put them away.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna wash them first? Harada gathered the dropped pile of plates and rice bowls and placed them on top of the serving tray. He was a master of maintaining his composure. I'm certain that it confused him as to why I may have dropped the plates so clumsily. Why was the ache in my heart so palpable? Could he see it in my face? How much all of it stung? Harada was adept at brushing things off, and here I was, 10 seconds away from becoming a mess. Well,
so that's all the plates, right? And time to take them back to the kitchen now, or...
Oh, yes, please.
Sano, grab mine too, would you? I'm so full I couldn't budge an inch. Grow up a little. Put your own goddamn plates away. Maybe you can burn off all that fat while you're at it. Ah, jeez. Who's spitting your porridge? Carry an extra plate or two won't kill you.
Sure, easy to say when you can sit on your ass.
You have no idea what any of these plates weigh. What makes you think I want to carry your plates?
Harada and Nagakora traded their banter as usual. Then Harada rolled his eyes, leading me back into the kitchen to drop off the dishes. Watching Harada go about his business with no noticeable change in his demeanor caused me to question everything. With each passing second, last night felt like a dream, a shadow of a thought with no basis in reality. Even still, you'd still be like, if you had a dream like that, you'd be like, fuck, now I know I'm in love with him and now it's awkward. I was gaining the impression that the kiss we shared was just a ploy to get me to calm myself from my erratic outburst. Whatever deeper meaning I described to it was a figment of my imagination, some girlish fantasy. Surely that must be it. And considering how much younger I was than Harada, and how he had a penchant for sweeping women from under their feet, off of their feet. Sweeping women from under their feet. I mean, I guess, but like, that's not usually how you phrase that. Getting my hopes up would be foolish. There was no reason to conjure up any delusions of the future. I couldn't let myself. Somewhere deep down, I knew this to be true. But why was I the one whose heart was burdened by longing? Why did it have to hurt so badly? Perfect place to end it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this part up here, and we're going to continue. I just can't even believe we got a kiss fucking right off the bat. Like, damn! Damn! It's going to take forever to get another one, though. It's going to, like, she's going to be like, and then he's really going to kiss her, be like, no, I meant it. It's going to be like 3 chapters worth of, like, I don't know if he loves me. God. You know, the torment. Even though we know he does, but he's going to do things that make us think he doesn't and hurt us, and it's going to be like, it hurts. I know he loves me, but it hurts. Anyway. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.